That is a boat, and this is a hole in the boat. And you are about to see exactly how this hole got in this boat and how you can avoid it from happening to you. Now, last week we showed you this, and unfortunately there were a few people that seemed to get the wrong impression, thinking that this is an issue with the Velocity brand of boats, which it's not, because Velocity makes a great boat, and no, this issue doesn't care whether you are in this boat, that boat, this boat, or any other boat. So now you should be wondering, well, how in the world does something like this happen?
That just happened.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
They had to have hit ground and hit it right too, in order to tear that much of the boat open. Well, sort of, but not entirely, which is why we want to discuss the different aspects of this boat and how this happened. Now, we have videos on what you should look at when you are looking to pick up a project boat, as well as how to inspect a boat before buying it, and different techniques that you should know about when it comes to selling your boat and how to get the most money you can out of it. Things like smashing that like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribing to the channel so you can learn more and more about your boat every week. And just a heads up, we've got fishing shirts on sale right now for 15% off on our website at bornagainboating.com/shop. But the one thing that we did not discuss on any of these videos is this thing right here. One of the top reasons why people will get a survey done on a boat before buying it is because these are the things that a surveyor will pick up on. This is what is called a moisture meter. I don't have one, or else I would show you how they work, but instead we'll just give a brief description about how they work. Now, a surveyor is usually going to have a really expensive meter, but you can get a moisture meter from Home Depot for like $50, but from what I've read about them, they really don't work that well, and you've got to calculate how they read, and most of the results are not duplicatable, so there is that. But when it comes to how these meters work, they work basically just like your voltage meter, and instead of testing for continuity or resistance and having to use the pins directly on what you are testing like your meter does, the moisture meter is calibrated to read conduciveness, or how wet an area of the boat is, based on how well it allows electricity to flow through it, without having to stick pins in something like the cheap meters from Home Depot that are more used to stick in wood, which can get all kinds of complicated in and of itself right there. Then if you are testing things like sailboats around chain plates or any other kind of metal that will allow voltage to flow, you can get all kinds of weird readings saying that an area of the boat is wet when it's really not. Bringing us back to that example of hiring a marine surveyor that uses one of those really expensive moisture meters that they have calibrated and know how the thing reads and how to interpret those readings in order to show spots on the boat where there are potentially problem areas behind the fiberglass. Now you can tell where hollow spots are by tapping on the hull with something like we showed in the inspecting a boat video. But a hollow spot doesn't tell you about something like what we're dealing with here, where the moisture meter would show us a little more of something like this, because the issue that we are looking at here has a couple of different levels to it. So if we look up here at the front of the boat, you can notice that there are these cracks and spots where you can see here that this is either Bondo or filler, and then all of these other cracks and spots up here, which is showing us that this boat has hit bottom before, and they probably hit it right that time, which started off this issue. And we were told that what they did hit was a metal pole. Then that brings us back to this section right here where we have all of this wood. You might notice that the back of the boat is all green foam because it's a foam cored boat. There shouldn't be any wood anywhere in this hull, which means that now we are talking about a repair job, and this is only a 2015 boat, so it's only 6 years old. Being a repair, that's why you see all of these other holes here that have been drilled in the glass in order to let all the water drain out of the boat before doing the glass repair. So now we've got this 6-year-old boat. Not too long ago it hit ground, someone did the glass repair to try and save the boat, but something that is important to note is that if we go up here in the boat and take a look, we'll notice that everything is sealed up here. We've got a bulkhead up here in the bathroom, and there wasn't any kind of repair done from the top side of the boat. This front compartment is a liner and it's sealed up, so they didn't do anything from the top here, just from the bottom, which probably contributed to why this patch failed. But to understand how it ripped open the way it did, we'll need to go a little further and talk about delamination. Delamination is where the layers of fiberglass, the resin combining the layers, as well as the core material of the boat that is sandwiched between this weaving of fiberglass all separates from each other. And this can happen because of many different things. Unclean surfaces when the repair was put together, too much air in the resin, not enough resin, water left in the coring, or sagging of the glass when the resin was drying. This separation now creates a void in the fiberglass, and when we are talking about a high impact structural location of the boat like we have here, this delamination allowed for splitting, cracking, and spotting of the fiberglass. Once this water has been allowed to be introduced into the boat, then in this case here, it looks like the core of the boat filled up with water, waterlogging the boat, and once the boat was put on the trailer, the weight of the boat being pressed against the bunks of the trailer created this perfect crack or even cut in the glass. So when the boat was put in the water, this entire side of the boat, or we could say the sliver of the boat hull, was so weak that with the weight of the water and the movement of the hull in the water allowed this entire portion of the boat hull to separate from the coring of the boat and basically just ripped off the hull of the boat, making this perfect bunk-sized slice to come off the boat and be left hanging here with all this water pouring out of the boat. Now that you know how this sad failure has happened on this boat due to a hard grounding and a failure in a repair, don't forget to pick up your Born Again Boating fishing shirt while they are on sale at bornagainboating.com/shop, and let us know what kind of hull failures you have seen in the comments section below. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, hit that like button, and all that good stuff. Thank you all for hanging out with us this week, and we look forward to seeing you next week.